Happy Monday. And we are here with Martin Taylor. And Martin, I have to say, I'm really honored that you're joining us here on my Monday Live. I mean, you've just been one of my favorite jazz guitarists, and I just have so much respect for what you do musically. You know, and so.
Oh, thank you very much, Muriel. Thanks for inviting me. And I've enjoyed and loved your playing for such a long time.
Oh, thank you.
We're sounding like a mutual admiration society at the moment, but we are. But,
Right.
I've been a big fan for a long time.
Great. Well, just before we went live, Martin and I were talking about the technology demons and how you never know how the microphones are going to sound, how it's going to turn out from one day to the other. Generally, we just ask the audience, "Hey, how's it sounding? You know, does one mic need to come up or down?" And as you start tuning in, just let us know how it's sounding, and we'll be happy to adjust that. So, we are getting ready to do an all-star guitar night this Thursday, and that'll be, I'm so, what a lineup we have for that, as it turned out. That's going to be part of NAMM's Believe in Music Week, and everyone can tune in live for that, or tune in. They have to register with NAMM, and then it's a free concert for them. It's an hour-long concert. And then we're going to have a recap of that concert with some extra interviews. We got some extra interviews from you, Martin, that we're going to add later the broadcast on allstarguitarnight.com, and we can go over an hour on that one. So, we've got a lot of stuff to cover and a lot of things to talk about. But first, I would love, Martin, if you would just play us a tune, get us in the mood here.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm broadcasting to you from my studio at home in Scotland. So I thought I would sound. Although we don't know whether this is actually a Scottish song, it was. I was told it was called something like the Braes of Balquhidder, I think, or something. Balquhidder is actually very near where I live here, where Rob Roy McGregor was. But then there's also some claims about Northern Ireland as well, but I'm not getting involved in the argument. So, but it's a song I really love. It's called Wild Mountain Time.
Oh, boy, what a gift of your music tonight, Martin. I've never
Hey,
heard
thank
Wild
you.
Mountain Time that way. It's
That's Wild Martin time.
yes, it is.
Well, you see, the thing is, being a jazz musician, I can't leave anything alone. I always have to mess around with it. And I've always loved that song, and my daughter-in-law sings it in a more traditional way. And there's a big connection between Scottish music and gospel music in America. So it's something you take some of these songs, and it's a bit like Scottish music and bluegrass. It's just
Yeah.
totally related, and so you can do things like this. And being a jazz musician, I like to mess around with harmonies a little bit, but it's always a very, very fine line when you have something like that that's such a great melody that you want to do something with it to give it another life, a newer life, because it's an organic process. This music's been going on for a long time, but you just keep it, you keep it going. So you want to bring something to it, but at the same time, not destroy it.
Yeah, well, that's really something that I've noticed that the music always lives when you play it. And if you're just tuning in, Martin is live from Scotland today. So,
Hey.
and evidently Ray Matuza knows you well because he says it's past your bedtime, isn't it? He said.
It is. It's well past my bedtime. I normally go to bed very early. For a jazz musician, I'm just not a night owl at all, and
Yeah, that's
I go
unusual.
yeah, I go to bed early, and I'd have been bed a long time ago now. But for you, Muriel, I will stay up and play the guitar.
Oh, well,
It's always
thank
good
you.
to see you.
Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to catching you a little bit on a Thursday at All-Star Guitar Night and then some extended play after that. We're hoping to put up the, don't tell anyone, but Martin, I'll tell you, that we're planning on putting up the extended version the very next day on Friday. So Friday you can go to allstarguitarnight.com and see the whole show, except for Steve Warner's part and Mark Knopfler are going to be only on the Thursday night. So, and everyone else. So we're
Right.
going to have Tommy Emmanuel, John Knowles, Doyle Dykes, Leroy Parnell. So a
Wow.
fun lineup. Yeah.
You
So,
couldn't get anyone any good.
well, I wanted to make it all friends of Chet Atkins, and I couldn't seem to find any sloughs who were friends of Chet Atkins.
Well, we always think of Chet, and we
Yeah.
all have such fond memories of the great man, and he meant so much to us, and continues to mean so much to us.
Yes, really does. So all the links we keep on that one website, murielanderson.com/now. And I should have links to that. And if we talk about anything that Martin is promoting, I'll pop those links up there later on. And you do a lot of teaching, right? So
I do. I have an online guitar school with Artist Works. If you go to my website, martintaylor.com, that will take you to that site. And I've had that site now for, let's think 2010. Yeah, so almost 11 years now. And it was something I was asked to do. David Butler, who started the whole Artist Works project, whatever you want to call it, it's an amazing thing. He asked me to start a school within that. There's many schools. There's about 35 schools there now, not just with guitar, many instruments. And I said, it sounds really interesting. I said, there's a couple of problems here. First of all, I've never taught, and secondly, I've never been taught. So I never actually went to a teacher. I just kind of picked things up as I went along. My dad could play. My dad played a bit of guitar. He was really a jazz bass player, and he showed me some chords. And then I always seemed to meet somebody that knew a little bit more than me, which wasn't difficult at first because everybody knew more than me. But my next door neighbor when I was growing up was, his name, I knew him as John, but he changed his name. His stage name was Jippy Mayo, and he became the guitar player in a band called Dr. Feelgood. And we started playing guitar at the same time. My dad used to play records of Django Reinhardt and Stephane Grappelli and also of the lot of Delta blues musicians like Big Bill Broonzy, and I went more in the jazz direction, and John Jippy went more in the blues direction. So yeah, so we never studied formally or anything. So I started the school, and I said, well, I'll give it a try. If I'm no good, then I'm not proud. I'll hold my hands up and say I'm no good. But I wasn't sure whether I was any good at teaching at first, and then something happened. I noticed everyone was playing better. And I thought, well, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Because everyone, and not only were they playing better, they could tell they were playing better, and they were saying, all my friends are telling me, what are you doing? Something's happened. You're playing better. And I work a lot with guitar players' minds, because a lot of the time guitar players come to me, they can play, they know how to play this thing, but sometimes just need to change their perception of music and how to approach not just the guitar, but music. And I think because I had such a free fall journey in playing the guitar, it wasn't formal. I can kind of relate to that whole kind of thing. Yeah, so I absolutely love teaching, and I also do my guitar retreats every year. I should have been at my guitar retreat in Benicia, California right now. Mm-hmm. And then I have one in the Catskills in upstate New York, here in Scotland, and also in Italy. And I love those because I've just got to meet so many fantastic people, so many guitar players.
I remember when we were playing together in Tokyo that you would take time every day to teach your students. When I would be going and cruising the marketplace in Tokyo, you would be out there teaching your students. So
well, you know what they say.
Very dedicated. Yeah.
You know what they say, Muriel? There's no rest for the wicked.
I guess so. Well, I'll post a link to your artist work site, right after this program, and there's also a link to my True Fire site where I do a similar thing, and I know that joy that you feel when people say, "Oh yes, I'm
fantastic.
playing better." So it's
I
really,
love it. I absolutely
really
love
cool.
it.
It's a great thing.
I just want everyone to play better, because if you play better, you enjoy it more.
yeah, you do. And I've got one tune still free for I guess another week or so on that site, which is the Superstition arrangement, and that's this one. I played it last week. So it kind of gets that clavinet sound, and then we bring in this little guitar bit. And then Pete Hutlinger did it like this, bringing Stevie Wonder's bit in.
Hey.
So
Now you're trying to kid us on that you're the only person in that room. There's
You
three
know,
other guitar players in there.
I realized that my left hand was cut off in the picture. That's just so you couldn't see what I was doing. You know, I just didn't want.
Exactly.
No,
Don't get everything away. Don't get it all away.
no, that was a mistake. But anyway, I mean, not to show you, but what I was doing in there was kind of playing with the sounds of each part, kind of getting Stevie Wonder's voice to kind of sound like a voice, and to get the horns to sound like horns, and get the clavinet. And so I'm playing with the tones of each of those parts, even though I'm playing three parts at once. But what you do is you actually improvise on the notes of each part, and I have no idea how you do that.
I don't either.
But you do, and I've seen you do it.
It's kind of madness. I don't know. I mean, this is something. In fact, I was teaching some students today on my Artist Work site, and getting them to break everything down. You know, in jazz guitar, they often talk about chord melody. So chord melody, and it's how I got into playing solo guitar, because I actually started out playing in bands. I didn't play solo at first. Mm-hmm. I'd been playing in bands for about 15-20 years or something before. I'd always wanted to play solo, and then I met this wonderful guitar player, Ike Isaacs, and he just turned me into playing solo. I used to hear Chet Atkins playing and Merle Travis, and I loved their playing and I loved what they did. But because I was a jazz musician, I thought, well, it's possible to do that on the guitar because they're showing that's possible, but I can't figure out how to do it. And so I was kind of playing this kind of chord melody thing. So you'd have things, so you'd have like Autumn Leaves. And that's pretty much a chord melody way of playing that. But what I do, I break everything down, and one of the things I teach my students are 7 steps. You can, if you know the melody, if I know the melody and I know the chords to something, not immediately, but very quickly come up with something that sounds like an arrangement, and then I can also expand on that. Then I can arrange that. So the number one is we just learn the chords. It doesn't matter what inversions you use or whether you use very jazzy chords, just play straight chords. In fact, what I do is I break everything down into tenths, which means it's either a major or a minor. So the tenth is really the third of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. That's your major. You go down half a step to, you've got a minor. So you've got major and minor. That's the basic information you need to know about chords. Don't even get into the whole textures and colors of all the other intervals that are there. So is it a major or a minor? So if I play Autumn Leaves, I just go A minor, I only think of it in terms of major and minor, and I only play the root note in my mind. No, I don't play, but in my mind I just keep the root note and that major or minor interval. Then I can start adding a 7th. See how good that sounds, and I'm hardly playing anything. Now the next part of that is you can actually start moving that line in the middle. I can move the bass as well. So I'm starting to move all lines. I've got the bass line, I've got that line in the middle, and I've got the melody line. But I can start expanding and improvising on those three. Get the bass. Up the dusty end of the guitar. Chet Atkins told me once, he said, "Martin, don't play up there." He said, "All the money's down here."
Oh, that's great. You know,
So you can start moving those lines, moving those lines around. And what happens after a while? You build up a vocabulary of what you can do. But also you have to understand harmony, and also you have to understand the language of jazz.
yeah. Well,
So you have to listen a lot to jazz. You have to listen to it and hear what's going on. It's just like learning another language.
Yeah, well, it's quite a complicated language, and you know, I did some jazz in high school and college, and then I realized to be as good as I wanted to be in jazz, I would have to spend all of my time doing it, you know, and I wanted to do other things like eat and sleep, you know. And so
Well, you see, for me, because my father was a jazz musician, and I heard that music all the time. So it's like if my father had been Italian, he'd have been walking around speaking Italian. I'd have spoken Italian as well as English. You see, so it was just a language that I knew and I understood it. And I used to walk around kind of singing this music in my head, and then I would sing lines, and then I would find them on the guitar. And one of the things I do with my students is I do a thing called think, sing, play. So if you think a line, so just take something in, say, in the key of C. So sing it. Da 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 da. I apologize for my singing; it's terrible. Then sing the triad of that. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Now I get my students to do this on the guitar retreats, and some of them are really good guitar players. Have been playing for a long time, and they think I'm getting them to play a kids game, and I get them to do it. I get one person to sing just a simple line within those 8 notes, and then they have to play it afterwards. And I think, oh, this will be easy, and they're all over the place.
that's right.
And
not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds, but you attune your ear to it, and in a very short time you can start to do it. Now, when you hear George Benson playing and he's singing, a lot of people will think, well, he's singing along with his playing. No, he's not. George Benson is playing along to his singing. So when I'm playing the guitar, I'm actually, for the benefit of you, giving you what's going on in my head. So da 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 da, da ba da da, ba ba da ba da, boo ba da da da, ba da da. Yeah. And then you start putting, after a while you'll make mistakes, but the gap between you singing that note and actually playing it gets less and less, and then eventually they come together and Now, I'm not singing along to what I'm playing. I'm playing along to my singing, and my singing is vocalizing what I'm thinking.
I think
And
that's,
that is the flow, and then that's how you do it. Because sometimes we pick up the guitar and we want to play something with it. I've got great ideas. You pick the guitar up and you end up going, or whatever it is, you end up playing the things, the fingers tell you what to play. The guitar starts to play you. The guitar doesn't play me, I play the guitar. This guitar doesn't make any music at all without me or without you, you see. So that is the whole thing. It's the flow. And if the problem is you've got the flow is going the wrong way, you're going upstream, you're trying to paddle in a kayak against the tide, and it's not working. What you need to flow with the tide. So that's how I'm totally connected with the guitar. There's no breakdown in communication whatsoever.
wow, that's
From here, it just goes into the instrument. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but when you speak, you do that. You don't think about grammar. You don't think about the vocabulary when you speak. You're fluent in speaking, and this is fluent in music.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of another tune I was thinking about playing at some point. Is the tune "Nightlights" that uses the harp
Oh
guitar.
yeah,
And
I love you playing that.
Oh, this would be fun to have you, improvise along with. But I don't know if we can do it because of the lag, in time. So.
Well, whatever I play, it'll be jazz, so you won't know the difference anyway.
That's right. I better take my headphones off for that.
I could just say, "Oh, it's jazz, man. It's jazz, man."
If you feel inspired,
Yeah,
we'll tell our audience, knowing that just have to take the notes that Martin's playing and superimpose those in time in your mind. And,
I'll just sound laid back. That's all. It'll be.
That's right.
Well, we are along. You're in Nashville, and I'm in Scotland, so.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit of a difference there. But one thing.
You're in B.
It's yes, yeah. This is tuned up a step, so that puts me in B minor. Yeah. So and this is one that it's sometimes I just play the notes, but it's to get into the feel of it and to get into the emotion of it is a different thing. And just like you said, you have to be in the flow.
Yeah.
And after this, I want to talk about our Patreon pages, because we just put up a Patreon today. It's essentially up on our sailing channel. So that's all linked on that murielanderson.com/now, where we have everything linked. But let's discuss that after this, just so I don't forget.
Okay. Do you really want me to play along to this? I don't want to ruin it. I don't want it to, with the latency and everything.
Let you decide that. So you can let it play for a while, play along with it for a while, as you think.
I make it hate mail.
Don't worry. This is Monday. Monday's not a performance. Monday's fun. That's what it is. Monday night. There we
Beautiful,
go.
Muriel.
Highlights.
I was trying to play just slightly ahead of you, bearing in mind that there was a delay latency, but I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know.
Well, I
I
can't
don't
wait
know
to
how
hear
it
the
came.
playback. See
Well,
how that worked.
If it didn't work, please forgive me. I tried my best, but I
Oh,
was just getting, I was
that would
kind
be
of
fun.
floating away with while you were playing there. It was just so beautiful.
That would fun. Somebody said it was a musical treat, and we got a bravo.
Oh,
So it sounds like it's working. It's
I think
yeah.
so.
We have some good comments on that. Yeah. And we also had a question earlier about where Superstition is located. That's on my True Fire channel, and there's a link to it on the Now page of my website. So if you go to my website and just click on Now, um, that's where we link everything. We'll have a link to Martin's things there too. And we got another
Oh,
lovely here from Tova, and Tom's and Bunny. They all say it sounds good, and
oh yeah, I've
Joe.
just seen
All
Bunny
right,
here. Hello, Bunny.
yeah.
Good to see you
Oh,
there over there
Bunny.
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah. So, and congrats to Bunny too.
Uh,
And Gil says, okay, all right, we got good.
hey,
Do
folks.
you want to do one more together, and then I'd love for you to
Yeah,
do
what do you want to
something
do?
on your own. Let's. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the Patreon quickly because Brian and I went for a sail for 5 weeks to Maine, and Brian put together these fantastic videos of that. I mean, of course, I might be biased, and uh, he just now put up a Patreon site. And I thought Patreon was just kind of like asking for donations, but actually it's giving something.
No, not at
So
all.
we're giving a lot of cool things away, and I thought people might want to join us on the boat, and so that's one of the options, or join us in other ways. And how
Wow.
have you worked your Patreon? This is all new for us.
Well, I kind of eased into it. I started it in, let me think, 2016, I think it was.
Wow.
And and I decided I would, I let a few people know about it, and I just used to come in the studio and I would record and film content here. And I just thought before anybody really gets into this, I want to have a good archive. I want plenty of material to be here to begin with. So I built that up, and it was just a very, very slow kind of thing, and a lot of my friends that come along to my guitar retreats, and some of my students on artist works started to join me. And the great thing is, I say I take requests, anything you'd like me to do, and I film things here. Sometimes I bring in a camera operator. Actually, he's actually I shouldn't say that. He's actually a documentary film director. He's actually very brilliant, but he plays guitar, and he likes to come in here, and he's filmed things really beautifully, and it looks great and sounds great. Mm-hmm. So I started to build it up like that, and I put new content on every week. I do things called tea breaks where I just chat about various subjects. I say, what do you want me to talk about? And I get subjects, topics that I'd like me to talk about. And then once a month we do a hangout, happy hour hangout.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I have guests on there. Tommy's been a guest. I hope you're going to be our guest next month, fingers crossed. Richard Smith was our guest a little while ago, and we just kind of hang out, we play, and at the end of it, we do an open mic. So any of my patrons that want to play get to play. That's why I recognise Bunny there, because Bunny is one of our dear friends.
Yes, and and ours too. So it's great to see Bunny here. And one thing that I thought to offer for one of the higher level patrons was to write a song for them, because I did that for two people, two patrons in the past, and I really liked the process. And it took me a long time, because I wanted to get just the right song for them, and a long time to compose it, but I really like that process, and so that's going to be one of the ideas. And then maybe if we take some trips like that to mail them some mementos and do hangouts, like you said. But I think the once a month hangout's a good idea. So
yeah, I think I'm getting, when I started it, and we have tiers in there of whatever anybody wants to pledge, and we didn't really know how to because it was all new to us. I didn't really know what I was going to do exactly. So kind of everything was very much like I play the guitar, played by ear, and I just, so as I go along, I'm open to suggestions with everybody, and but the hangouts are really good, and I'm actually going to start doing some live stream concerts as well from here too at some point. Great. I just noticed there's a message from Gil, who wanted to know what's make of my guitar, and which amp am I using. I'm not actually using an amp. I'm just playing agnostic. Acoustic. This is just acoustic. This is my own model of guitar. This is called the Joya, and it's made by a very small company in Surrey, which is just outside of London, and they hand build these guitars for me. Again, if you go on my website martintaylor.com, there's a link to that if you'd like to check that out. This is my baby. I have two of these, and I'm actually designing another guitar at the moment as well. But this is my little baby.
All right. Well, let's do another one together, since that one worked. And if anyone goes to the sailing channel, it's called Acoustic Sailing on YouTube with Acoustic Sailing with Brian and Muriel, and or that's also linked on that same page. If you click on that Patreon button and just check out the levels and let me know what you think, because this is new to us. We've never done a Patreon before, so if you have any ideas for us, just let me know, because we're open to suggestion.
That's the thing, Muriel. It's a community, and it's not like it's not like I'm saying, okay, this is what it is. I'm always open to suggestions from everybody.
Right.
And if you think I'm getting it wrong and I could improve things, that's what I'm there for, and it's so it's such a nice thing to do, to have this community, which a lot of this started with my guitar retreats. In fact, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of the guitar players that I met that are now part of this community, and we've all kind of become good friends. You know, there was a time when, you know, I think about a lot of the guitar players that were my heroes, and I feel so privileged, so fortunate that I got to know them and I got to work with them. I got to work with Barney Kessel, Charlie Bird, Herb Ellis, all the great jazz players, Joe Pass, Tao Fowler, Mandola, all these guys, and I actually got to meet them. But at that time,
And
I
Stephane
couldn't believe
Grappelli.
it. Yeah, of course, Stephane Grappelli, but
Yes.
you didn't kind of meet people. You didn't get to know them. They were kind of on a pedestal. But now, you know, now things are quite different. You know, I still have my own musical heroes, and I think it's fantastic when I get to meet them and chat with them. And I think this is one of the things that all of this virtual world that we have is helping us to do that, to be in contact and
Yeah.
get in contact with everybody.
Yeah, I was
I can
able
even
to-
contact you, Muriel.
That's right. Well, when I was recording the Under Paris Skies, I wanted this real authentic Django sound, and so I contacted Django's grandson, Lulu Reinhardt. I'm sure you know. And
Lulu is, I think he's a relative. He's a
Yes.
cousin, I think. Yeah.
Great grand cousin or something. Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure.
yeah, and so you know, so he was able to play that real gypsy style on that, and know Django's playing about as well as anyone, and having played with Stephane Grappelli for all those years and listened to that.
Yeah.
So how about if I do that same song that I recorded with Lulu Reinhardt? And that
Okay.
was for the cookbook. Most of you already know that. So that's the Acoustic Chef cookbook, and a song for every recipe. So this is the one that goes with the quiche, of course. And Under Paris Skies. I'll be in B minor again.
Sous le ciel de Paris s'envole une chanson. Elle est née d'aujourd'hui dans le cœur d'un garçon. Sous le ciel de Paris, ma chaleur le bonheur se construit, se relève par eux. Sur le pont de Bercy, un philosophe assis, deux musiciens, quelques bardons, puis les gens parmi elles. Sur le ciel de Paris, jusqu'au soir, vont chanter.
Why will you take the headphones off? All right.
Et le ciel de Paris a son secret. Il était pris dans le fil de Saint-Louis. On est trop jaloux de ces milliers de monde. Il fait gronder sous nous son tonnerre éclatant.
Martin, take one here.
Mais le ciel
Et voilà, c'est formidable.
That was fun.
Tu parles français?
Oh, all right.
Tu parles français?
Oui, je parle un peu français.
Oh,
Et
c'est
toi?
formidable.
Ah, tu parles français.
Yeah, I used to live in
aussi.
France. I
Oh.
lived in Brittany in northwest France for a few years. I had a very old house. It was 350 years old, and it was wonderful for a while. And then one day I was sitting in it, and I realized all I'm doing is spending a lot of money stopping this place from falling down. So I moved back to Scotland and moved into a new house.
Yes,
But
well,
it was very nice.
Brittany, I love Brittany, and I just fell in love with the crepes there. So yes, there are
Oh,
there are the
crepes.
buckwheat crepes in here too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we would love to go back. And Brian and I spent nearly a week on a canal boat there.
Yeah, we had a canal near us in near Dinan.
Right.
We lived in a very small village just outside of Dinan, and it was on Laurence, I think it was. I can't remember now. It's a little while back, but yeah.
Well, do you have another solo in you, Martin?
Oh, I think I could play something. What kind of thing would you like? What kind of?
Oh, I like that you did something that just had this kind of cool groove that.
Oh, right.
Moving lines and just neat stuff. It just,
Something with a groove.
yeah. Well, everything
Okay.
has a groove, I mean, nearly, except for the ballad.
Hey, it's Martin Luther King Day today, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And
Okay.
after this, I will finish off the show with a song that I wrote that has Martin Luther King in it. Inspired
Okay.
by him.
Well, I'll play something that will just slightly get us in a little bit of a mood. Written by Billy Taylor.
All right. All right. Well, I'll finish off with one more, and let's see if there's anything we forgot to get to. We talked about the Sailing Channel, the Patreon sites, All-Star Guitar Night coming up Thursday, and replay on allstarguitarnight.com. Cookbook. Oh yeah, and I have 2 sets of super trebles left. If you're looking to add trebles to your guitar, we have these strap-on version of the super trebles, and Martin, you need one of these. You don't have enough strings on your guitar.
I don't.
Yes. So
you're corrupting me. I like it.
Okay. I think we have another convert here. All right. You're passing over into the dark world of the harp guitar. That's right. The teaching channels, I'll update murielanderson.com/now, so I'll have links to all of Martin's things. And your books also. You have teaching books as well?
I do. I've got a whole bunch of teaching books on fundamental changes. You can find those on Amazon, or you can find them on my site. And yeah, my last one I did, you're a little bit too late for that right now, but it's of Christmas songs. Uh-huh. But if you get one now, you can have a whole year to practice. Right. And play for your family on Christmas Day.
Right. Well, one of my earliest memories was hearing that Martin Luther King had died, hearing that on TV. And so that dates me very precisely, doesn't it? And because I remember I was so sad because I thought that there used to be prejudice, and he cured it. He was the man who cured prejudice. I grew up very sheltered. In fact, my little brother thought that black and white referred to the color of somebody's hair, not the color of their skin. And a lot of our friends were from the Friends meeting, the Quaker meeting, and they were multiracials there, and I never experienced any prejudice, and so I thought it was cured. And so that was a blissful childhood, I tell you, thinking that that's the way everyone was. And I'm still hoping that we can move further in that direction. And Martin Luther King was a big hero for me as a kid, for all that he did towards that. So this is a tune that I haven't played since last year at this time. So I hope the words come back to me. But kind of about his inspiration.
There's a little thing that you can do to lift the heart of someone who's too afraid to ask. When a broken heart is on the mend, there is nothing like a friend to lend a helping hand. Even though you may be blue as well, leave it all behind until you reach out if you dare.
Oh, I forgot to switch this over here.
After all, what can one person do? Ask Gandhi, Lincoln, remember to ask Martin Luther King. Though your work is never mentioned, you're fighting in the trenches before the battle even starts. For to ever make a stand and give it all you have, you gotta do it from your heart. When you look around this crazy world, a planet that needs to be healed to stem the rising tide. When the herd is headed for the cliff, you don't have to be so miffed about being left behind. There are times when you are feeling small, nothing that you do at all seems to change a thing. After all, what can one person do? Ask Gandhi, Lincoln, remember to ask Martin Luther King. Though your work is never mentioned, you're fighting in the trenches before the battle even starts. For to ever make a stand and give it all you have, you gotta do it from your heart. There's a little song that can be sung. There's some work that can be done to stem the rising tide. Conviction only you can bring to stem the rising tide.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, thank you for joining
Lovely.
us today. Martin, thanks so much for being here, and I won't keep
Well,
you up
thank
too
you.
much later.
No, thank you, Muriel. Actually, Tom just asked a question that I
Yes.
would like the answer to. Can the super trebles be used on an archtop?
You know, I don't know the answer to that question. So I will have to ask Luke Bruner, the builder of that. So that's a very good question. I'll email
Okay,
Luke
would
and
you? Yeah, I'd be
ask him.
interested
Yes.
to find that out as Tom is.
Yes.
That's lovely, Muriel. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you, Martin. And, so we've got a lot of people saying that they like the way we played together. We should do more together. So I like that.
Yeah, well, I remember when we went to Japan together. We played in Tokyo. It was
Yeah.
such a. We played 2 nights at the Cotton Club, and
Yeah.
it was so nice to do that. And Japanese audiences are so appreciative, and I love Japan. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait to go
Yes, me too.
anywhere at the moment. Do you know this is the longest I've been anywhere in one place in my entire life since I was 15, and
Yeah.
I've always been on the move. And you know, I worked it out. I've been on the roads for 48 years.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
nearly half a century of carrying a guitar around.
Wow. Well, I hope that you do it for another half a century.
Well, I don't think I can quite make that, but I will be back at some point, I'm sure. But I've been enjoying being at home. It's really been quite a novelty, and I'm so fortunate to have a nice studio that I can work in and record things for my patrons and be in touch with you, be in touch with my students, and it's an incredible blessing that we have this, that we can all be in contact with each other.
It is. I have really enjoyed getting to know our friends and patrons and people who we correspond with this way. Even through these Monday night things. So much appreciated. And so we'll say cheers, and we'll hope to see you at the All Star Guitar Night.
Yeah, I'll see you there, and I'm looking forward to coming back to Nashville. I realize I was talking to Richard Smith the other day, and I haven't been in Nashville for quite a few years. It was a regular visit for me, and I recorded many albums there actually over the years. I recorded with Chet Atkins there. I recorded a couple of my Sony albums there.
Yeah.
Recorded with David Hungate, a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, we're hoping to do it live in July. We'll see. We'll see. See if we
Okay.
do All Star Guitar Night then. So
Well, I'm looking forward to getting back to see you all.
Yes, great. Well, cheers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Martin.
This is way past my bedtime. I'm
Yes, it is.
going to head back now. I've already got my pajamas on. You can't see actually.
Well, it's just been a delight to have you here, Martin.
Well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye now.